Well, Dom, thank you for doing this. And I'm Neha from the Devrel team at Zayed. I'm doing short interviews with Extract Summit alumni to bring the stories and the conversations that happened in that room to bring those to life again. And especially when you submitting a talk again. So I have, like, for the sake of simplicity, 3 questions. But before I get into it, do you want to say something that's
Sure.
on top of your mind?
Sure. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this year's Extract Summit. Just to start things off, I had a blast. Yeah, last year at the Extract Summit, it was great meeting fellow web scraping enthusiasts, people, and experts. And yeah, just to say, I'm very hyped about it. So yeah, that's my introduction, I would say.
Okay. So has something changed from last year to this year that you've started adding in your bio?
It's more or less the same thing. From my personal side, I would just say that things are evolving as everything is, and
Yeah.
AI and web scraping and in data in general. And I would say that it just things are evolving very rapidly at this current pace. So things that are as they were for my function and my role in my company. So I'm still the delivery manager in Pontis, and I'm managing the delivery process of 45 plus years. We've grown a bit for 25 plus engineers. We've grown a bit. So we acquired some 5 or 6 new people into the team, and more or less everything stayed the same. We're still working on various web scraping projects, AI projects, and things are as they are.
Amazing. So I'm going to start and jump into the 3 questions I have for you.
Sure.
You ready?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So you give a talk at last year Extract Summit about scraping synthetic web. What problem were you trying to understand, and what do you understand it differently now?
So yeah, the problem with last year's talk and the core problem around the whole subject around the dead internet theory was that I saw the whole thing as a meme somewhere on the internet, and I saw the joke around the dead internet theory and around bots and so on, and then I saw, like, wait a minute, so this is a core problem that we're having at the moment, and it's a problem that's getting worse and worse. So it still is a joke in some sense, but then again, when you see it from the other side, the underlying concern is very real. And generative AI is the main culprit of it all. And Gen AI is what made the problem what it is today, I would say. And I wanted to figure out how bad it is, how bad the state of the internet is, how bad the cybersecurity implications of it all are. So if there is fertile soil for different risks such as social engineering attacks, so maybe phishing attacks, scams online, and so on, and how dangerous the whole web has become. And also if there are any regulations such as the EU AI Act, and if they are doing anything about it. And the main conclusion of it all was that the joke is not only a joke anymore. As I said, the whole concern is very real, and there are very, very serious implications of it all. And I've shown that the bar is really, really low, the bar of entry for making your own bot and maybe even scamming people or just taking part in some malicious activities such as public discourse manipulation or fake news or different kinds of scams.
If you have to give a TLDR version of your talk of scraping a synthetic web, could you just explain what do you mean by synthetic web and how your current Extract Summit talk is a spiritual successor to this original question?
So yeah, the whole thing of the whole core problem of the previous subject was the synthetic web, which means that the web has become more synthetic than authentic or human. And some also some statistics have also confirmed that. The main one by Imperva said last year we were talking about around the half of all internet traffic has become synthetic, and at the moment currently it's around 53% bots. So we're currently over the threshold of bots on the internet. And yeah, we've figured out now that the internet is a relatively dire place, and that it's become a bit dead. The OSINT talk, OSINT of course standing for open source intelligence, the talk shows a very different side, still a worrying side, and a side about awareness and dangers on using the internet, but it mainly focuses on the human side. So it is a continuation and a spiritual successor of that talk from last year, in that it also shows the dangers when using the internet. It has that awareness component and that character to it. But the core idea is to show how open we as human users make ourselves on the internet by sharing all sorts of data, all sorts of personal information about ourselves online, and maybe unknowingly. So maybe also some information that we do not know about that exists about us on the internet, maybe the images from all kinds of events, conferences, and so on. And that all again has information security implications, because lots of data that we put ourselves online or unknowingly online can be used to make profiles about ourselves. And those profiles can be used for all sorts of malicious stuff, including social engineering attacks, phishing attacks, deep fakes, voice cloning attacks, and so on. So it's also a thing for about concern and about awareness. So it focuses on that awareness about our digital footprint online that we as human users. And web scraping in that whole image and that whole broad picture are where it gets interesting and where it gets even more dangerous and dangerously fast and scalable, because AI is just an upgrade on the whole thing. OSINT and the whole social engineering part existed even years before the whole Gen AI craze. But AI is good at connecting the dots from different platforms that exist online. And it's also, again, as with the dead internet theory, it makes the whole bar of entry for skills and for the money needed, so financial stuff and the skills needed, the whole bar is lower than ever, and it's very easy to scale and attack and start the social engineering campaign with it.
Okay, so basically, scraping a synthetic web was more about understanding and identifying, diagnosing the problem basically that's existing, because there's huge amount of data that is generated by AI, and how important it is to understand and differentiate between like what's human, what's generated by human, and what's not. And it leads to a lot of questions around provenance and trust, and what are we scraping and why does it matter. And in this current talk, this year's talk about open source intelligence, you're talking about like how unknowingly and knowingly we show up on internet, and like how
Exactly. Yeah.
basically like what measures do we take and how do we, so human is like an integral part of this, like okay, how as humans we show up on internet, and like how much information and digital footprint we leave behind, and how it could be dangerous, and like what measures one should take to avoid getting harmed in a way, in certain way.
Yeah.
And you mentioned like where AI and web scraping fit into it. Like, can you explain more about why should web scraping community care about this?
Yeah, it's not only about web scraping per se, it's also about web search. So to be exact. And when you're doing OSINT, the core component of it all is searching the web, of course. And searching the web is, of course, built upon web scraping, but it also has a dash of AI on it, on top of it. So for example, when we're looking at LLMs, all of the LLMs right now have some AI search and AI and web scraping capabilities. So it's also about that, where AI is the icing on the cake on the whole web scraping and web searching part. And that's also not only about the whole process of web scraping, solely web scraping. It's also about different kinds of platforms that exist out there regarding, for example, searching for the contact information. For example, lead generation platforms are mainly used for lead generation, which is obviously the lead generation part is the main use case. But those kinds of platforms can also be used for malicious purposes. And as I said, when you combine one email from this part and one image from this part and one data leakage from a third part, when you combine it all with AI, when you combine it at scale, when you also have web scrapers that search the whole web, then you can build a very convincing and very comprehensive profile about the person. And it's also a dual lens here, because it's from one side, it's about defending yourself against such kinds of web scraping for information that you do not want to have online and you do not want to have scraped. But it's also from another view on it, that you can use also web scraping and all of that tool set, all of those platforms you can use yourself to see your digital footprint, or the digital footprint of your company, your team, your family, whatever. You can use all those same tools to analyze the information which is available about you online. And it can also have business implications if you're, for example, working in a cybersecurity team and you're finding out profiling maybe attackers or profiling your company.
Well, that seems interesting. And we'll leave the rest for the Extract Summit talk. And we're really, really excited for this year as well, because I think it's even more relevant where we are in our AI era. So I'm excited for this. One last question around IRL events. When you decide whether an event like Extract Summit is worth attending, what are you hoping it will add to your life or work? Was there anything particular from last year's Extract Summit that was, that you felt so alive, that is still
Yeah.
alive in you?
I mean, when I'm choosing an event generally, be it as a speaker or as an attendee, the main value I look for is connecting with people, of course, and learning some new, exchanging some experiences. Because I mean, the whole technical stuff on such events is great, but then again, I can look at documentation, I can read documentation and blogs online myself at home. So I would say the most valuable part is finding other people, other experts who are working on the same or similar projects and problems as myself, and exchanging those experiences, seeing how different perspectives affect the solution to the problem. And that was also in some sense, in some degree, a driver, or the inspiration for the OSINT talk, looking at things from another perspective. So instead of looking at the web as we did last year, at looking at the web at the dead part of the web, and at the dead side and the side that's synthetic and filled with the bots, looking instead at the human side and seeing what our human digital footprint is online. So in general, I would say the experiences that you get when you're meeting new people. And as I said, I'm very hyped for this year as well, because last year I met so many new people from Zeit as well, but also from the whole community around Zeit and around web scraping, that it stuck with me until, also until now. And I remember all the great conversations I had last year. And again, I'm very much looking forward to the ones this year.
I think I couldn't agree with you more on the energy that you feel in these IRL events is about experiences that you have and the conversations that you have with others, and how important they are to understand and have different perspectives on what people are doing and how they are AIing